Beep beep everybody, hope you're all having a great day. Thanks for tuning in. So this is the second in a series of 3 videos where we visit some antique malls in the Cape May area, although this one is significantly further north than Cape May. We're at Cape May Point State Park right here on the southern tip of New Jersey. We usually visit this every time we take a trip to Cape May, and I usually wave out to sea because I have a great Uncle John who was buried at sea when he died in 1988. He used to work for Exxon as a tanker captain, and prior to that he served in World War I in the United States Navy. There's Cody messing around on the beach, and what you see behind Cody is an old gun battery that used to function during World War II. That's on this park website. So here we are at Days of Old Antiques and Collectibles, and this is about a 45-minute drive north of Cape May. It's actually a little bit north of Atlantic City, and this is on US Route 9, and the address is 150, I think, York Road or something like that. But if you just follow US 9, you'll find this place. And I'm going to pan around very shortly here so you can see the building. There we go. And you can get an idea of how big this place is. That's the front entrance. And we're going to go in and look for baseball cards. So the first cards I found were this 1974 Topps Rookie Pitchers card. And there's a couple other ones here. There's a Bake McBride and Brian Downing rookie card, also from that same set. And there's a couple more 1974 Topps cards. Some of these things don't have prices listed. I assume they're on the back of the penny sleeve or top loader. There's a 1989 Fleer Mike Schmidt. And kind of a hodgepodge in that little case there. I found this curious looking gas station / parking garage toy from, I don't know when this dates. They're selling this for $70. It kind of looks like it might have been built in the 60s or 50s. It is almost entirely made out of metal. So that could date it for you there. I'm not a collector of vintage toys, but I thought this was pretty cool looking, so I thought I'd film it. Here's another seller that has a bunch of mostly modern cards. As you can see, multiple sports are represented here. Prices are about $1 to $2 per card. You could probably get some of these a little bit cheaper on eBay if you look. I'd say these are probably around retail, maybe a little bit less. But I've opened up so much of 2024 Topps that I don't really need any more of it. Although I still haven't opened up any update yet, so we'll probably get some more of those down the road. And there's a few cards in this spinning display of some sort. Again, mostly modern baseball cards, and a few other sports are represented in the seller's displays. And down below there are also some more cards. Got some stuff from Panini as well. It's not just Topps. And I think I see some capstone cards as well. So here I found some black and white photos of Phillies players that look like, I think most of these players played for the Phillies in the 1960s. There's Curt Simmons and Don Newcomb from Brooklyn, Sal Maglie, Chico Fernandez, Granny Hamner. It looks like these were going for $8 each. There's Harvey Haddix and Willie Puddinhead Jones and Gil Hodges. Behind that were a whole bunch of vintage sport magazines. And those have date ranges between 1946 and 1973, according to the seller. I didn't dig much deeper into that. Here's some signed baseballs. There was little identification available here. I don't see any prices anywhere on any of them, and I can't readily identify the signatures myself. I'm not very good at that. But I'm sure there are some viewers out there that might chime in, and you're welcome to do so in the comments. And I even tried to look underneath to see if I could see prices, and I think there are some there, but the glare off the glass of that shelf made it difficult to see them. This seller had some vintage cards here. There's a 1957 Enos Slaughter for $30. There's one of those Decal Edge Roberto Clemente cards for $10. There's a Bowman Platinum Mike Trout. I think that's an earlier card of his. I didn't quite see the price on that. 1971 Topps Hank Aaron for $125. That one did catch my attention, but I ultimately thought maybe I could get that somewhere else a little bit cheaper than that. Happy Birthday Joe DiMaggio button for $10. And there's assorted cards in this box. I didn't see anything on the top of the box that made me want to get this case open, so I left it at that. As you can see, there's a bunch of, looks like police patches to the left there. There's a 1961 Topps 60 home run leaders and some modern cards thrown in as well. There's a numbered Gypsy Queen card up there at the top. And here's some more modern cards, mostly Aldos. It's a Jose Altuve Dominator. Looks like possibly a green something or other parallel. It's hard to remember all the names of the parallels that Panini issues with their products. It's a Ryan Mountcastle Stars of MLB. That one's priced at $5. I'm pretty sure you can get the Stars of MLB cards quite a bit cheaper than that if you dig around. So I ultimately didn't see anything there that interested me, but it's still nice to say. Apologies for putting my finger in front of the lens not once but twice. There were several booths at this place that were so filled up with stuff that you could not actually enter them to look at what's in them. But I noticed this yellow hamper, and for some reason, I just have to film hampers when I find them in the antique malls. This is the third one over the course of 2 years I've seen. I saw one not that long ago, if you saw my video for some of the malls in Adamstown, the blue one there, and there was a bright yellow one, I think, out in Illinois one time when I was out there. Bunch of Batman cards. This is $25, and this is actually 2 sheets. And I believe they're just 1 card per pocket, so that would be 18 cards there. Have no idea what those are worth, but I thought I'd film that to show that there are also non-sports cards here. This was a pretty interesting display of trains, some rather larger ones there. That engine goes for $825. It's a Lionel model, but I thought this was pretty neat to see. My uncle collects trains, so if I can remember, I'll try to forward this to him. And then a quick zoom, hope that didn't make you dizzy. And then we have some more trains over on this side of this large booth. And this is not something I collect. I don't have the space for it, but I always think that these things are neat to look at when you go to antique malls and somebody puts together a really cool looking display of this stuff. Here's a few more cards. Project 2020, Mark McGwire. Can't see any prices on these. There's a 1990 Fleer George Brett, Player of the Decade subset card. And a Nestle card of Mark McGwire there to the right. That one's priced at $3. This seller here had the most interesting setup. You can see there's a bunch of modern cards in here. I think generally the prices at this one were about full retail. But there were a lot more interesting things to look through. That Juan Soto Heritage card there, I think I got that for $1 instead of the $3 that they're selling that for. There's some vintage down in the case below here. There's a 1962 Robin Roberts for $8. Richie Ashburn also for $8. The condition of the vintage just wasn't where I wanted it to be, so I didn't bite on any of those. But generally, there were more modern cards here than vintage. And as you can see, other sports are also available. I did dig through the baseball card piles in this display here. I did actually pull out, I think, 5 or 6 cards from this display, and then I looked them up on eBay, and I didn't even do sold comps. I just looked at buy it now prices, and it turns out that most of those cards you can get for about half that price, or maybe 2/3 of that price, along with free shipping. So I figured, well, you know, if I can get it cheaper elsewhere, I'm going to pass here. Several boxes here. There were no baseball ones. I'm not sure what's inside. A big selection, I guess. That's probably a way for the seller to move a lot of product that normally wouldn't sell as individuals very well. There's a sheet of Greg Luzinski cards for $5. Home Run Challenge cards there. That was $6. Adley Rushman cards, $8 for that sheet. And there were some other sports represented there. And the seller sold more than just cards. There's some magazines on the wall there. Here's another seller, again, mostly modern. Got the Topps Heritage Albert Pujols card. And there's Alston Hayes rookie card. There's a Strasburg rookie card there, both platinum and Topps. Some of these cards didn't have prices on them. I assume it's on the underneath, on the back side of the penny sleeves. I kind of wish folks would actually put the prices so that you can see them to make it worth your effort to, you know, get the case open. And there's Cody on the beach. We're still at Cape May Point State Park. As you can see, he has sand all over his nose. And there's the Cape May Lighthouse, which is a nice feature of this state park. Every time we go to Cape May, we make sure we stop here. The scenery is really nice from that beach, looking south at the ocean. And here's the Cape May Lewis Ferry, leaving Cape May for Lewis, Delaware. And you can go right to this location and have a look at the ferry every now and then. There are a lot of people stop here just to park and watch the ferry. We were once on this a long time ago, I think about 15 years ago, and it was a fun ride. But it was a much longer drive back home from Delaware than New Jersey. So right after this, we'll go over what I bought here. Alrighty, hope you enjoyed that tour of Days of Old Antiques and Collectibles. This place is on US Route 9 in Galloway, New Jersey. A bit north of Atlantic City, about a 45-minute drive from Cape May, New Jersey. So I only bought one thing from this place. The prices generally were not what I was hoping for. I guess some of them were fair, but I'm kind of there looking for deals. We'll introduce Grimace and Omar. Beep, beep. And there's Nathan and Gnome. Boop, boop, boop. So what I ended up buying, we'll move these guys over here, was just this 9-pocket sleeve of 2024 Topps Home Run Challenge cards. This was $6 for the entire sheet. It features Corbin Carroll, Rafael Devers, Pete Alonso, Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena, Josh Young, Bo Bichette, Bobby Witt Jr., and Jazz Chisholm Jr. And the total price for these was $6. And I think generally on eBay, I think most of these go for probably about $1 each or so. So I figured, hey, you know, if I bought these individually on eBay, it would cost me maybe $9, maybe a little bit more. It's possible that the Witt and the Carroll and the Rodriguez cards might be worth a bit more than $1. But I didn't actually do any checking. I just did this on a whim. So I thought that was a pretty decent deal, and it's a good way to get a bunch of these quickly for what I thought was probably an okay price. So I was happy about that. Nothing else really grabbed my attention there. There were definitely some interesting cards, and that same seller that was selling this did have some cards that were priced around, I don't know, $3 to $5 each, and every single one of them I'd look up on eBay and I could see like half that price. And I was looking at buy it nows, not sold comps. And I saw that I could get these for half that price, maybe 2/3 of that price, along with free shipping. So I ended up putting them all back. I mean, there wasn't anything that I really, really needed to have, but these would have been nice pickups if the prices were good. I think one of them was an Elvis Andrus hot dog parallel. You know, has a bunch of little hot dogs behind it, and that one was priced at $4, and it looked like I could get that cheaper elsewhere. And that's not a card that that you would scramble for. I do collect Elvis Andrus cards, but it's not like a top priority. Whereas if there was a Bobby Witt Jr. with the same kind of parallel and the price was like pretty decent, yeah, I'd probably grab that one. So it depends on the player, it depends on the type of card, and nothing really grabbed me. It was a nice place to visit. Definitely enjoyed my time there. I would recommend checking it out if you're in the area. It's a good way to kill an hour or two, depending on what speed you take. And if you have a dog in the van, then you probably want to cut your visit a little short, depending on what the temperature's like. So that's it. That's all I got there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was this worth buying this for $6, or could I have gotten a better deal somewhere else? I suspect that's possible. I won't rule that out. But at the moment, at the time, and your gut says, go ahead and get it. So I went with my gut. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos, and take care, everybody. Beep, beep.